Hello, my name is Jackie, and I'm going to share with you today how to make kindness rocks. What I have done is that I have collected rocks, but I have also used other things like a seashell and even cut pieces of wood. And at times when I can't find anything like that, or the stuff is buried under the snow, I actually use cue cards, and I create kindness cards. So just to give you the basics in terms of how to get going, I find a rock. What I do is I get some water-based Mod Podge. Although if you want to, and if mom and dad or your caregivers have some clear spray paint, but that's not kind of as safe as the water-based Mod Podge. But I use that, I cover the rock and I let it dry. And the reason I do that is because when I use a marker on the rock, sometimes the ink on the marker spreads out, and putting the Mod Podge on first protects the rock and allows you to have a clean line. So in terms of the markers that I use, these are my favorite. These ones are called Posca markers, and I ordered these on Amazon from Japan, and they are the absolute best ones, and those are the ones that I use. But there are plenty of other products on the market. There are Sharpies, and what you want to look for in the markers is acrylic paint markers or oil-based markers, because those ones are permanent markers and they are going to stay on your rock. Now these Sharpie ones, these ones here, those are oil-based, and then these ones are just permanent markers, so they're ink-based and it's permanent, and they work just as well. For example, this is a rock that I painted, and I painted it totally with Sharpie permanent markers. So I use the Sharpies because they are permanent. I can't use Crayola markers or other ones that are not permanent if they're alcohol based, because they just rub right off the rock. So that's the most important part, is to get permanent markers. And then what I do is that sometimes I actually paint like a background, just a solid background. So for example, with one of my rocks here, see, I painted a blue background, and then I just put some dots around the outside, and then I got one of my white paint markers, and then I wrote my saying on it. So I have lots of different kinds of rocks that I have created, and the idea is, for me, from my perspective, is that I want to share kindness messages. And so I paint the rock, and I like it to be lots and lots of color, and then I put a message on there. And what I have found out is that you know, with your handwriting, sometimes we don't have the very neatest kind of handwriting, and so, you know, if you have to get mom or dad or one of your caregivers to help you out, I'm sure that they would love to be able to join in. So a lot of people ask me about the sayings and where I got those. I get them all off of the internet, and one of the things that I have done is that I've created a book, and in this book I have all sorts of the sayings that I have used on every one of the rocks. But I found this great website, and what it does is it's got one-word sayings, and all the way up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8-word sayings. And so what I'm going to do is that I'll make a PDF document of that, and I'll share that with Dawn as well. So my parting advice with you is that this is a lot of fun. And if you get any on your hands, and I'm sure this is something that you have seen an awful lot of these days, but Purell or any kind of alcohol-based hand sanitizer, that will take all of the permanent marker off of your hands. But be careful. You don't want to get it on your clothes, because on your clothes it will be permanent. So have a great time. Enjoy spreading kindness messages in your community. I personally leave the rocks all over the place and wherever I go, and I think it's a wonderful way to share with people. Just be kind.